Well, good evening.
Indeed.
Hello.
Good evening to all. Yes.
How are you two doing? Good, I hope, right?
Very well, very
Well,
well.
I'm doing good. I'm still alive at my age. That's a bonus. So no.
That's a huge. That's a at your age. That's a huge win, right?
Yeah, well, it is definitely a huge win. Yes.
I'm gonna get my ass kicked by Denton for the night's over with.
You might.
It's been this 2 weeks been like it seemed like it's been forever. A lot's happened in the 2 weeks, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me and Jim did our radio show. We missed the last week because it was Father's Day weekend.
hmm
But we've been doing this radio show, which is the same as this tonight's show, the Delinquents Ball. That's been going over really well. That's been a huge hit over there at the Metal Cross Radio.
That's good.
I
That's
was
good.
getting lots of compliments on our camaraderie during the show.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
excellent.
I was getting
Nice.
lots of positive feedback. That's always good.
Oh, that's good.
It is
Yes.
good.
Yes. Well, I always like it when you get some really lovely comments because I find it so nice when other people agree with my own opinion. So that is really nice.
But it's been like extremely hot here. I don't know about how it's been where you guys in the neck of the woods, but it's been
It's
extremely hot here.
it's humid.
Is it? Not over
And
here.
it's
Not over
hot,
here.
thick air, just gross.
Mm.
I tried going camping. I went the first night and it was just so damn hot. I was like, I'm not staying. Luckily for me, I'm only like 15, 20 minutes away from the state park campground that I was at. So I went
Oh,
back
that's
home.
not too bad.
That's
Oh,
not
then
bad. Yeah.
I got up next day and then we went back out to the campground because I rented it for 2 days. I'm like, so let's just go back, hit the beach,
Mm.
and we'll change, do whatever we want to do, have lunch and shit at the cabin, and just go back home. So
The beach looked nice.
it's a really well maintained beach there. Really, to be fair,
Mm.
I was pleasantly surprised, and you know what, it's a state park too, so
Yeah.
Mm.
they're gonna keep it somewhat clean.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
I
gotta
was,
have my air conditioning. I'm really into that.
Mm.
it was just
Big
yeah,
fan.
I'm learning the older I get. You know, I'm going to be 50 next month, and I'm going. This camping is just. It's not going to be camping unless I got AC.
Yep. It gets too hot, man, and
So
the
now I need
humidity.
to. I just need to invest in like a pop up camper with an AC in it, or a pull behind camper, or
Mhm.
make sure the next time I get a cabin, it's got air conditioning in it because it was
Mhm.
hot. I mean, it's like if
Oh
it's
yeah.
too hot,
Well,
it just brings you down, drains
you
you.
can get
Well,
like
that
those
would. Yeah.
those fifth wheel thingies that have air conditioning in them. Those aren't too bad.
Mm.
Yes,
Yeah.
I need to get something like that.
Yeah, it can be quite unpleasant. I remember, there were times when if I was in the back of the one of the armored cars that we had, yeah, I mean, you're riding around basically in a metal box.
Yeah, in an oven.
And, I remember, one summer that was quite hot, and I'm in the back, and of course the windows are nobody can see in, so I basically took my clothes off, and I am in there, but it was like being in an oven. This thing was just roasting, and it really gets very debilitating after a while. But I remember I used to talk to a man. He'd been in World War II. He was actually with Field Marshal Montgomery in North Africa. And I remember him saying, he said, if you want to know what hot is like, he said, be in a Churchill tank with all the hatches shut, driving across the Libyan desert with half a dozen people who haven't had a bath in the last week. And he said, yeah, that's hot.
Ugh, no,
Yeah,
thank you.
I'll take his word for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take his
we'll
word
skip
for it
that.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll skip that and just take his word for it.
I
yeah.
can't. The humidity here is just like you walk outside, it's instant sweat. You can't
Mm.
hardly breathe, and it's like 90 degrees, but the humidity makes it feel
Oh.
like 100. And you're just like,
Yeah,
ugh.
I know that. I mean, when I go into the hothouses, the tropical part of the Botanic Gardens, it's like being in a jungle somewhere, and it's very, very debilitating. I mean, it's not the temperature; it's the
Yeah,
humidity. Yeah, it really
it
gets you.
feels
There's
like.
nothing worse. There's nothing worse than your balls sticking to your leg from sweating.
I would not know.
That is well. Well, I would hope you wouldn't. But then again, these days, who knows?
Who
It's
knows?
yeah, I mean, you know.
Let's say hello
That's
to
one
everybody. It's
that's
tuning
one
in.
thing I don't have to deal with. But you do get the underboob thing. So,
Oh, that's true.
Underboob
Yes,
slut.
under the well, I get that too because I mean, at my age, I'm sagged. But
Do that again, Denton.
what?
Do that again.
Gonna get us booted off.
Hello. Hello. I just fell in love.
Yeah, so I think I could probably wear a 38 bra. But anyway, I mean, these days, you know.
Hello, Showin. How are you doing this evening? Thanks for tuning in.
Hello.
There's Scott
Thanks,
Tiberius
hello.
Tuttle. How are you doing, buddy?
Now
Roy.
I can
Good
see
evening.
comments now without having to do this at the
Hello.
screen.
Hello, this is my sister. Hello, sis. How are you doing?
Hello, everybody.
Hello. It's quite uncomfortable, isn't it? Especially when you try walking with your ball sticking to your leg.
I think they're talking
I don't
about
think be able
change.
to really, but anyway,
my bad.
you know.
my bad.
But I can imagine that it would be pretty uncomfortable walking with, your shirt stuck to your legs.
Sweating. You're sweating so bad you're chafing.
I do recall my dad, he worked outside pretty much his whole life. He had quite a plethora of things to use to keep that from happening. He had baby powder and cornstarch and all kinds of things.
This is the way to watch our show tonight. At the pool, listening to you and salsa music in the background.
Oh, very nice.
They're listening. I was talking about getting chafed because it's so hot. We're chafing. Bust out the baby powder. But anyway, thanks guys for tuning in tonight with us here. It's a Wednesday night for sure. I'm feeling a little bit off today. I don't know why, but show must go on. And tonight we're talking. What is it?
Solstice. The full moon is coming up, and I think the solstice is coming up, so that might have you feeling a little wonky.
That's why I'm feeling a little wonky tonight. I'm feeling a little bit off my game a little bit.
Oh.
But we have a great show for you nonetheless. Some great music for you guys. Katie and the Bad Sign, we're playing for you tonight. One Last Day. There's another band, but I can't think of the name of it right now. KinStrife. We're going back a few years. One of the first bands that I ever got to do any work with, like hang out with and make videos for. So I'm playing them tonight, kind of going back the memory lane for myself. One of the very, very first bands that ever let me tinker with their music and tinker with their material. So I'm gonna play them tonight, show them some love. It's been a while. And then we're gonna be talking about change, not change our diapers. Well, I do.
Change your underwear because it got sweaty.
Change my underwear.
Oh, we're back to that again now. Yes.
I dribble a lot, a ton. I dribble a ton.
I don't know. I think this show is beginning to sound like it's going to be a load of balls. But anyway, we'll see where it goes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when we think of change, what's one of the first things that comes to a person's mind when you say change? Let's say, Jim, I'm looking at you and saying, tomorrow you're going to have to change your job. What's the first thing you're going to come to your mind?
Fear and apprehension.
When I ask you, Denton, when I ask you what change means to you, is there a certain feeling that starts to overcome you first before you answer?
Well, the way I look in the mirror, certainly. I mean, I look at my old theater photos, and I say, "Was that you? How did that become this? That part of change I don't really like. I think of the lines of the lines from W.B. Yeats about all is change utterly, a terrible beauty is born. And I try not to look in mirrors.
Change for me, it seems for me, change. It's one of those things. I think about everybody. I think everybody is scared of change, even though it may be change for the good. It's the transition from what's comfortable to uncomfortable scares a lot of people, and they don't want to take that leap forward. Well, I'm successful at what I'm doing right now, but if I have to change, it means I got to start over. If I got to quit this job because I don't like what I'm doing and switch to another one, that change is scary for a lot of people. And a lot of people don't even realize that's what it is.
I've tried to start looking at change because I work in the field that I work in my day job, my muggle job, as I call it. There's a lot of change. There's always change in healthcare stuff. And so
Mm.
I try to look at it as usually maybe it's going to be an improvement. Maybe it's going to be a better process change. Maybe it's going to make my life easier. But when
Mm.
it's like a major job, like when I found out in February that I was getting laid off, I was terrified
Mm.
because I knew it was going to be change and it was scary. And then it ends up being better. It ends up being a huge change for the better. So I've tried to change my outlook a little bit of like, yes, change is scary, but sometimes it's good because it makes us forward momentum. You know, it
And
makes us.
there's times that change is really good, like you're saying. There's also times where change is really bad.
Well,
Mm.
on the flip side of that, my mom just passed away.
Oh.
That change is terrifying to me because I've always had her, and now I
You're not
don't.
you're not having to. I can contest to this. When I lost my dad, there was that change, that transition from I'm not that kid anymore, the mentality to okay, I'm next in line. Wait a second here.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm grown up now. I'm a big boy,
Mm.
and my time's limited. How am I using my time? So when that change came, my dad passed away. That was really, it wasn't scary. It was just eye opening.
Mm.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I was ready to embrace that change yet, or if I already have embraced that change. You kind of know when your parents start getting sick and they're getting older, you kind of know that this day is coming. And
Mm.
then, in the process of my life, losing friends and best friends and people around me dying off, you just kind of start getting used to it or numb to it, I guess, a little bit, you could say.
Mm. Yeah.
I need to change off that Mountain Dew.
Yeehaw! Good old Mountain Dew. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it'd be a good subject to touch on because I think at this point in time in our lives, for a lot of people, we're experiencing change. I'm experiencing change in my personal life. I'm getting to hit that benchmark of 50 years old here next month, so I'm experiencing a bit of that change of my path. Where am I heading? What am I going to do? How am I going to spend the latter part of my life? And a lot of decisions have been focused around doing these shows and what I do on social media. So change is coming. I thought, what a good way to have a conversation tonight with
Mm.
everybody, because I'm sure everybody's probably experienced a little bit of change in their life too. Talent says diversity. Diversity creates divine life. Change is a blessing. I agree 100%, buddy.
Mm.
But we're all going to be experiencing it at one point in time. So why not? What better time than now to talk
Mm.
about dealing with this change and how sometimes you can't change what's going to happen. You just kind of got to deal with what's going to happen and then embrace that change and then figure out ways to adapt or I would say adapt to it. You'd have to adapt to different scenarios that goes on in your life.
Mm.
Hard as they may be, losing someone's important to you in your life, that's a big change that you have to adjust to. You have to adjust to it. You have to conform around it because the death is never going to change. That's
Well,
permanent.
an example, I always every Friday night I would call my mom. I'd get off work, feed the dogs, and then I would call my mom. It was just I called her all the time everywhere, but every Friday night I always made that
Mm.
call, just to talk to her, see how she was doing, blah blah blah. Well, now Friday nights are fucking weird because I can't call her. So I just started a new ritual with the dogs. There's a guy on TikTok who does this thing with his dogs called Pizza Crust Friday. So I just decided,
Oh.
okay, well, we'll do Pizza Crust Friday. I'll just order us a gluten-free pizza on Fridays and we'll do that little ritual instead. So sometimes you have to do change in order to move past something because I was a struggle. Those first couple Fridays were really
Mm.
fucking hard
Say
because I
so.
was
Yeah.
lost.
Mm.
And so I thought, okay, well, we'll just do something with the dogs that's just going to take the place of that kind of.
Mm.
So sometimes you have to make yourself do a change, whether you like it
Danger
or
is
not.
real. I like this. Danger is real. Fear is a choice. when it comes to change, I think people don't. I think they perceive it the wrong way. Don't look at it as being scary. Embrace it as a gift. Here comes something new in your life that's about to happen. A new adventure is you're about to embark on, or you're about to take a new direction. The real hard stuff is, like what my sister just said earlier about the loss of her son. Or the loss of my son was someone that made a change. The change is living his heart. And it can be hard, but we have to tell ourselves when we go through these hard things, there is a brighter side to it. There is a lesson to be learned. There was a gift given to someone, whether it was to the child that had passed away, or whatever it may be. You have to embrace whatever comes your way and then deal with it. Accept it, move on, go with the flow, and try to find ways to. It's hard. Trust me, it's fucking hard.
Yep. Sometimes you have to make a new habit.
You have to make a new habit and breaking the old habits, like the routine that you was going over your mom's every Friday. That's all. That was a routine, which became into not really. I wouldn't say a habit, more of a routine. You just got used to going over every Friday, doing
almost
your thing.
A ritual.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden that's gone. There's that empty space. How do I fill that?
Yeah.
It's difficult. We got some music for you guys tonight. We're hanging out with us here on the Delinquents Ball. We are talking about change, just different sorts of changes. Like I got to change my diaper here in a minute. During this video, I'm gonna.
Okay.
I pootied.
Oh, you and Joe Biden together.
Hey, yeah, that's a good point. We are together.
I often wonder. I have this image maybe of Vladimir Putin sitting with a beer and a bowl of popcorn, looking at Joe Biden videos and going, "Look who's running America!" I'm so scared.
I don't think it matters which one of them is running America. It's still just a joke.
Well, most politicians are. I mean, the ones we have here, they're not worth they're absolutely useless. And they don't represent the people, because thousands of people may turn out and protest and they get ignored. So, well, who are you representing? Yes, I don't think much of politicians.
Me either.
No.
Nor
do I.
I think a benevolent despot. I remember it has been said is probably the best ruler, and I think I'd make a great benevolent despot. I'd be a great king.
Denton for president.
Well, for president.
Yes.
Let's get to some music tonight, guys. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to play you guys some KinStrife. This is old, couple years old. Once again, great band. One of the first bands I ever got to work with personally with their music and make videos. This ain't the videos that I made, but this is one of their songs back in the day. KinStrife, go follow them here on Facebook. And till then, we'll be right back, everybody.
Hey.
It don't. It don't go down.
Robert, it goes down.
No, it don't.
It do go down.
Oh!
That
Yeah,
was a good song.
yeah, that was good. You're right there. You're right there, Sid.
Are you there?
Because the old eyes were kind of going a bit,
Hmm.
Yeah,
I need to smoke this cigarette before I say something inappropriate.
Oh, go ahead and say something inappropriate. I mean, we don't mind, I'm sure. Or I'll say something
That's
inappropriate.
the first time That's the first time I actually seen this video,
Yeah.
and that was you folks in the UK sure got your way of doing making music videos, don't you?
Well, I'm not in the UK, so I can't really speak for them.
Well, you
Looks like
know a
he's
lot of
not in
people in
the
the UK though,
UK.
right?
What?
You know people in the UK though, right?
Well, I do. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll go with that. That was just that felt like a School of Rock video or something.
Yeah,
Not a
yes,
fan of the
actually.
performance vids, are you?
No, I wasn't a fan of the performance of that video at all. I'm like, what's going on here? I hope they don't watch this show afterwards. I'm sorry, Simon. I'm sorry, you guys, KinStrife. That just threw me off a little bit.
They'll be like, "Fuck you, Sid."
You don't ever play our videos again, you asshole.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm just thrown off by it a little bit. I don't know, just weird. Maybe I'm just too high. I smoked during the video. What the fuck is? Why is he making love to the microphone like that?
Oh, I think it was just
I
your
don't know.
regular performance video, wasn't it?
I think him and the microphone were just good friends.
I mean, he was really giving that microphone some extra love.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see his crotch like kind of slow sliding up the fucking the microphone?
Yes, you could say that.
I guess I was just not. I was watching the video, but I guess I wasn't paying that close of attention to it.
I paid too close of attention to it.
You were very focused.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you find you can't tell the difference between the microphone and a dildo, you'll probably have a problem.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, it was just like it felt like a video was taken like a School of Rock, like they just got taught that song, and they're all like, just we're playing we finally got it, guys. All the right notes, we're doing it.
Yes, like a bunch of those bobblehead
band now. Let's call ourselves KinStrife. Yeah.
Yay.
I got to get away. So do I. Next conversation.
Yes, well, I mean, we've already covered floppy chest, dangly bits, balls, and stuff like that. So yeah, this show it is taking a bit of a low sort of tone.
We got a low bar, low brow.
Did I forget to mention at the beginning of the show tonight we have a brand new Denton Storytime?
You did actually, yes. You did forget to mention that. I was hurt, but I said nothing.
Well, don't be hurt, Denton. Okay. We got a brand new Denton Storytime. It's about Valhalla.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Interesting enough.
Can you guys hear my dog?
Yes, I can hear the dog.
He found the dog in the mirror, and so
best friend.
That dog in the mirror. Yes.
Yeah.
They're evil.
I brought my mom's curio cabinet home, and I put some of my crystals in it, but it has a mirror in the back.
Yeah.
And he's discovered that dog in there, and so he keeps growling at it. So.
Oh, Jasmine, thank you very much.
Sebastian.
Yes. The highlight of the evening. Yes.
Well, why have our fans wait for you, Denton? You want to introduce your show tonight? Why have them wait? You want to play it?
Yeah, sure.
Take it away, Denton.
Cool. You are ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Very well.
I got to get away.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Yes, well then, here is a wonderful, amazing, brilliant, incisive, splendidly narrated a little video on the subject of Valhalla and the fact that it doesn't actually exist. So, I mean, if you want to take it away there, Sid, and entertain the multitudes. I'm a Viking. I'm going raiding and plundering, and when I die, I will go to Valhalla. Yeah, not quite. No. I'm afraid that's really a misunderstanding. Hello and welcome to Denton's Storytime. Now, if you ask anyone, where do the dead warriors of Nordic mythology go to feast with Odin and the gods as they wait for the great battle that will end the world, Ragnarok, and they will tell you Valhalla. Yes, almost every documentary, YouTube video, history book, and even museums will say the same thing, Valhalla. But they're all wrong. Dead wrong. I just thought I'd throw that one in. Dead warriors don't go to Valhalla, and they don't go there for a very good reason, which reminds me of a line in that brilliant television show Blackadder, where he said that something was exactly the same as the two-headed fish monster of Aberdeen, because it didn't exist. Nor does Valhalla. There's no such place, which is a very good reason why nobody can go there, heroically dead in battle or just popping off very unheroically in your sleep or getting run over by a number 9 bus. They can, however, go to Valhalla, or at least, well, they could have in bygone days, but since dying with a sword or an axe in one's hand is a bit unlikely nowadays, they'll probably have to find, well, set up somewhere with a bit less feasting and drinking and, well, a little bit of the other as well. Yes, there is no such place as Valhalla, despite the popular belief to that effect. That term wasn't even used until the 18th century. It was first documented in 1768, rather a long time after the Viking Age, I'm sure you'll agree. I always laugh when someone on YouTube says, I'm a Viking and I'll go to Valhalla. No, dear, sorry, you won't. For one thing, to be a Viking, apart from really needing to be Scandinavian, you would have to get in a ship and go somewhere in it and do something or other when you got somewhere or other. Since a Viking, or Viking in Old Norse, is an activity and it's related to seafaring, be it raiding, trading, whatever. So strictly speaking, you can't be a Viking, but you can go Viking, till fara i Vikinga. So not only must you heroically expire while on a sea trip, but you must do it with a weapon in your hand. Historically, that should be a sword or an axe or a sax like this. Bit unlikely these days, so no, sorry to disappoint you. No Valkyrie are swooping down for you when you go belly up, coming to chuck you over their horses and give you a free horse taxi trip to somewhere that doesn't exist. No. If you did go boating and snuff it while waving a sword, it would have been Valhalla you would have been going to. Or at least some of you would, but I'll come to that in a moment. Valhalla comes from Val, which specifically means a warrior killed in battle, and Hall, meaning a hall. So it is the hall of the warriors slain in battle, and it is one of the many halls in Åsgardr, the home of the gods. Now, a very special hall, of course. It's roofed with golden shields, and that is where the dead warriors, the Einherja, the once fighters, will feast with Odin as they all wait, probably exceedingly inebriated, for Ragnarok. Also, most people refer to the non-existent Valhalla as the home of the gods, which it isn't. For that matter, neither is Valhalla. They just feast and no doubt get gloriously sozzled there on a nightly basis. Different thing altogether. Given the amount of feasting and merrymaking that went on there, I suppose they would probably spend quite a lot of their time there, much of it possibly on the floor recovering from a hangover. No, Åsgardr is the home of the gods. Valhalla and the other halls are simply buildings in it, such as Floya's Hall, Suthramnir. Now, Suthramnir. That is located in a meadow called Folkvanga, and that is where half of the dead warriors go, taken by Floya as her half-share of those killed in battle. That usually goes overlooked. Only half of the Einherja go to Odin's Hall. They are to be waited on by the Valkyrie in their dual role of waitresses. Yes, they didn't just provide a free taxi service skywards for dead guys, but they looked after those same dead warriors once they got there as well. And they'd be giving them roast boar and mead and well, probably shall we say intimate services as well. You know, eat, drink, and be merry, and they provided the merry. Yes, their job was to keep the horns full, the trenches well stacked, and a bit of hanky-panky howdy-father afterwards. We must assume it would be the same in Staskelmere as it was in Valhall, with all the fringe benefits. You know, well, it would be rather unfair if half the dead warriors got to feast and fight, eat roast boar, get pissed out of their minds, and enjoy the company of the Valkyria, the only women there, of course, apart from goddesses. Well, while the other half just went picking flowers in Folkvanger and doing their own catering, and, well, like, entertaining themselves, if you see what I mean. I, for one, would be rather indignant if Eric and I had died together, and now he's over there in Valhall, whining and dining and chatting up the warrior women, while I'm here trolling around Folkvanger doing pretty flower arrangements and making me own sandwiches. Boring. Oh, just bring on Ragnarok and let's have a bit of excitement. Yes, a bit of mayhem would cheer things up no end. Yes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall say goodbye for now.
You're going to piss off a lot of people, Denton.
That was great.
Is that your goal, Denton, is to piss off everybody?
Oh, would I do a thing like pissing off somebody? No, I'd rather piss on them actually. But
you know how many Vikings go around yelling Valhalla? I'm going to Valhalla.
Oh, I know. I see it all the
piss
time.
So many people off.
Probably yes. That probably will happen. But it is annoying. It's like all these other misconceptions, you know, horn helmets and all that.
They need to know the truth.
They need to know the truth.
I agree. It's whether or not the people out there are going to accept the truth.
No.
And I think that's one of the things I loved about Denton and his Denton tells and the story times. So he just tells it like it is, whether they like it or not. I've always agreed with everything he talks about. I've always agreed with.
That's nice. I like that. Well, I mean, I'm awfully good, aren't I? But yeah, as I said, I love it when people agree with my own opinion. But yeah, the truth, be it the Viking Age or history in general, like Napoleon said, history is written by the victors. And nearly all the history you get in school. Awesome as always, Denton. Thank you very much, Jasmine. I like you. I mean, as recently, it does indeed, Jasmine. It does piss them off. I mean, there are so many things, even in very recent history. Now, the Viking Age is a long time in the past, you know, but things have happened even within the last century. And what you get in the average school. Yes, thank you very much, Scott. I know I am, but thanks for reminding me. I always enjoy that. Keep it coming. You know, so much of what you're taught. Well, like here in Ireland, you know, I mean, Irish school children always learned of the noble, heroic Brian Boru driving the evil pagans from the shores of Erin, you know. And I think Brian was 73 years old. He sat in his tent for the whole of the Battle of Clontarf. He got killed praying. His praying didn't do him a lot of good, obviously. But, you know, far from driving any pagans out, he'd have had a job to find any in 1014 because they nearly all converted to Christianity. The Norse king of Dublin founded Christchurch Cathedral, you know. And all Brian wanted to do was get the kingdom of Difflin for himself, basically. He didn't really give a rat's ass who was in it. You know, pagans, Christians would be all the same to him. So you get stories like this, but what they learned in school isn't really true. It's the same with the Vikings, you know. You look at most programs. All they did 365 days a year was sail around in ships and burn things and rape any woman who still had a pulse, and probably a few didn't as well. You know, the trading, the settlement, the benefits they brought. You know, like here in Ireland, all our major cities were founded by the Norse, not by the native Irish, and their influence was considerable. You know, they were the greatest traders. I mean, when you think they traded all the way from from North America, from Iceland, all the way to Baghdad. So, you know, but all you ever hear about is the raiding. Now, I suppose it's more exciting to read about somebody bashing somebody's head in with an axe than it is about them planting crops or planting a village. But still, it's a distortion of history. And I really hate that. I like history to be right. So I would say, like, especially don't let Disney make it. God.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, well, I mean, I see one of the latest projects is they're going to do Hannibal, but Denzel Washington is going to play Hannibal, and I think he's in his 70s.
Hannibal.
I can't see. Hannibal Barker, who attacked Rome. Remember the elephants over the Alps? Well, I can't see a 70-year-old falling over the Alps with a bunch of elephants somehow. But I don't like the presentation of history at all. They nearly always get it wrong. And of course, the Hollywood true story is, they're never even remotely close to anything that actually happened. I hate that. Anyway, that's my little oration from.
Is he seeing his buddy in the mirror again?
Yes, I had him back up on the couch, and now he's gotten down.
That mirror dog is a bitch, isn't it? That mirror dog is just so annoying, and they can never kill it. I mean, it survives all attacks. It's terrible.
Horrible.
He's a boxer, so everything is just amped up by 1,000.
Oh yeah, boxers are high energy animals.
Well, it's just as well he's not like a Rottweiler or something. He'd probably eat the mirror.
He would try. I have a picture when I was putting stuff in there. He had his head all the way in, trying to, and I was like, dude. Oh, thank you for not being a jerk.
I'm surprised. Like, I didn't know that you had a boxer. I mean, I've seen the boxers behind in the camera. Up close.
Oh, that's exciting.
I had to see his balls and all.
Oh, that's right. Because on the radio show, no one else can see it. Thank God. But poor Sid has to be subjected to his ass. Right?
We're back to balls again, are we? I don't know.
No, Sebastian has no balls. No, there are no balls in this house.
Got the skin flap.
He's got the little empty sack.
The flappy thing is still there.
Poor Sebastian.
Poor Sebastian. Poor Sid.
When we did WitchCon,
it'd be more like poor Sid, poor Sebastian, if Sid put his ass in the fucking camera. Oh, poor Sebastian.
Well, I mean, if you think the viewing public would be interested, go ahead.
When we had at WitchCon, after every day, we would have the big Zoom room meet and greet thing. And Sebastian, he always knows when it's camera time, and he would get up beside me and do the same thing he does when we're online, because we're on the couch. And so he was everyone's particular favorite. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's Sebastian's ass. How lovely!"
You should bring him onto this show. I mean, we could all admire Sebastian's ass, couldn't we?
Come on. Here's Sebastian's face.
Oh, hello, Sebastian's face.
No, give him the ass. Give him the ass.
He wants not this direction. He can't quite do that.
He wants ass, obviously. Give that man some ass.
I did some research on my dog. I got a big breed dog like that boxer there, like Sebastian.
Thanks, buddy.
But mine's a black mouth cur. It's primarily breeded in southern states of America.
Yeah, those are cool dogs.
Yeah.
They're like farmer dogs, really is really what there are. And man, they're like I was research, do a little bit of research on them, and they're they hit every personality trait that this dog has. They hit it right on the nose. Like if you scold it and use like a harsh voice or a loud voice, they don't like it. They'll be scared of it for the rest of their lives.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dog, I tell this dog, they take the women, he takes to my wife. I mean, he's takes to me, but he's more of a mama's dog. Very protective of the kids. Like me and the boys are wrestling, he'll get up like he's wanting to do something.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, if I wish you would, I'll throat chop your little dog ass. I'll be jumping across the room, throat chopping my dog.
Do it suplex.
Fuck, he's a big dog. I mean, he's got to be 80 pounds at least.
Sebastian's about 80 pounds. He's a pretty big guy. Bella's 91 pounds.
I got it from Humane Society. I did research, and I was like, it's amazing how they can know these breeds so fucking well. And then there's like, oh, well, that's exactly how my dog is. Boxers are really high strung, really high energetic fucking dogs, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they need attention all the time.
Yeah, yeah. He's my Velcro dog.
And then I got these 2 fucking cats.
Good fun.
That's been going well too.
Has it?
No,
That was
Oh.
sarcasm.
that was sarcasm.
Oh, I see. Right.
I know it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I have a problem sometimes with sarcasm. Yeah, I know.
My cats. I'm just not a cat person. They're babies and they're cute. And you're going, oh, for about 2 seconds as they're in your arms. You're like, oh, and then it turns into, oh,
And then the claws come out.
and then you got Scott, our other pet.
Yeah.
And a Scott.
And a Scott. Yes, I
Scott,
see.
he's got a very regal middle name. Scott
Oh.
does. I've known Scott since high school. He lives with me. He's in his bedroom right now, in the same place as I am. And I was gonna. He wants to come on the show and be like a special co-host. So we might bring
Why
him on
not?
one of these live shows.
Why not? If he has a fancy middle name, why not?
He wants to sing for us, so I might let him come on and have his moment, his 15 milliseconds of fame.
Well, why don't you? If he's willing to sing for you, and especially if he'll do it cheap, why not?
I mean, well, I can give you about 20 fucking reasons why not.
Well, is he that bad?
Well, he's not bad. I'm not gonna say anybody's bad. If you got the balls to get out there and sing, no matter.
Oh no, he's
matter
on about the balls again. He is the balls. He really is.
Our show has been ball themed.
If you got the cojones to get up there and sing in front of somebody, especially in front of a bunch of strangers, who am I to say no?
That's true.
I agree.
Actually, it just struck me. I mean, the show is called The Delinquents Ball. Now, I don't know where the other ball went to, but there's one there anyway.
Well, I mean, it's a ball, like the dance.
Well, I know. Ball. I gathered that it was the dancey thing.
Well, I actually got this name a long time ago. Well, you would know, Jen, because you probably watched Headbangers Ball.
Headbangers Ball, yep.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of got the idea for Delinquents Ball, was from the show Headbangers Ball.
Headbangers Ball was awesome.
Yeah. Who's
for a while.
I watched it all the way till Ricky Rocket quit and they brought in that Adam Curry fella.
I didn't like Adam Curry.
Don't know him.
I liked Ricky Rocket. I didn't like Adam Curry.
You're not missing nothing, Denton.
Mm-mm.
Loved Headbangers Ball. I did too as well. It was my favorite thing to watch on Saturday nights. I would sit back at the house with my little cable box. Remember the cable box?
Yep.
You had to slide it fucking up and down the fucking box. I'd be up.
See, my dad would always go to bed early, and I'd be sitting up by myself or with my brothers, but usually by myself, and just watching Headbangers Ball. And my mom was deaf in one ear, and so she'd just be sitting there reading her book. She wasn't paying me any attention. I was having the time of my life.
Oh, good.
Some of my favorite times in life was sitting there watching fucking Headbangers Ball. I can remember the very first rock and roll video block they had was called the Rock Block.
Yeah.
And it came on every Monday through Fridays. I think it was at 4:30. So I'd get off of school, come right home, and tune into the Rock Block. And then Headbangers Ball came on afterwards. Damn, we're getting old.
We are getting old. I'm older than you.
But we're still getting old, regardless how old we are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We want to talk about leads. Denton's got a good stretch on us.
Oh yeah, I left you way behind when it comes to age.
Denton done smoked us in the age.
Well, I mean, I'm an antique.
Well, he's young at heart. We're all young at heart. That's what matters.
True. Well, I find in myself. I mean, if I'm not looking into a mirror, that I feel exactly the same as I was when I was 20. It's just when I tried to do something that I could do when I was 20, and then I realized I'm not. Yes, I don't think you ever feel. Well, I certainly don't. I feel just the same. Because I say, if I look in the mirror, then
yeah, I see. I feel like I did when I was 25, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, ew, all those wrinkles and shit. I'm like, fuck.
That 50 mark's like a defining moment for you in your life. That's like the one, like the big moments in your life. I can remember looking back as a kid, going, when I turned 50 to be 24, and I'm thinking to myself, damn. Here I am, fucking 45 years later, remember me talking about turning 50.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd make it to 50.
Really?
Mm-mm.
I didn't either. I always lived with a fear because my grandmother passed away at a young age. She died at 43.
Mm.
So I always thought that, that was one of my biggest fears. Am I going to make it past 43?
Mm.
Now my next biggest fear is getting past the mark of my dad and how old he was. He died at 69. So
Mhm.
now my fear is, am I going to make it past 69?
Well, it's extended you a little bit, so that's something.
I just lived such a crazy youth that I figured by 25 I'd be
Ah.
so.
Well,
That,
maybe that's my secret to having got this far, because I mean, but they say if you remember the '60s, you weren't there, but I do. But I mean, I never took drugs, I never smoked, I didn't drink at that time. I
Man,
was I didn't do
fucked
any of
it
the
up.
other things,
I
So
fucked it up too.
I fucked it up. I mean, 80s was, I was trying to be everything that every rock band that you've seen on TV was.
yeah.
I was
I
out
was just
partying, drinking,
having a
playing
good
music.
time,
Yep. Drinking a
but
lot. I was
I
hitting
did
the bars
straighten.
before I was able to.
Me
Mhm.
too. I was 17 and I looked probably 20, 25 when I was 17,
Yeah.
and they
Well,
didn't care around
everybody
here.
in the neighborhood knew my dad because here in Indiana, for the longest time, you couldn't buy alcohol on Sundays.
Yeah.
My dad turned his 2-car garage into a bar, and everybody in the neighborhood would come to my dad's place
I
and
like it.
I buy $1 beers and 50-cent shots all Sunday long. So we'll be out there hanging out in the back with a bunch of us drinking, shooting pool, dartboards, poker, euchre. Those were the days, man. I miss those days.
I just
Mm.
was determined to have as much fun as I possibly could, and I
Mhm.
did. But then I straightened up,
Yeah.
and so now I've made it to
Well, no,
55, and
I was
now I'm like,
never
oh
into.
fuck, now I got to make it to 60. Holy
Oh, well, you
shit!
keep working on it. I was never into the wild fun thing. I was more into books and stuff like this, and doing
I,
historical things and all that.
fuck, I was too busy.
Mm.
I don't even know if I should say this.
Oh, Jasmine, yeah,
I was
you're
just
still
too
going. You're
busy
still going.
chasing.
But well, I was a bit different. Some people would probably say I was just weird. But I mean, like when I was in North Wales, I was about 14 or something at the time, and I mean, I would be out with a tape measure and a notepad, drawing a map
Also,
of
different
Iron Age
generations
hill
though too.
forts or something.
Yeah,
This is me. So I just wasn't into the sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
We'll use
the
a different.
80s
Use
were
different for that.
Mm,
the 80s were nuts, man. Though they were just
80s was definitely. It was fun. It was fun.
mm.
It
it
was
was fun.
carefree. There was. It was carefree. A lot. Really carefree. Really, where at least where I was at.
Well,
It
I
was
was
running the
where
road,
where
drinking.
I was at, and then I moved to where you were. I moved to Indianapolis, and then it was really a lot more carefree.
Mm-hmm.
Cops didn't give a shit back in the day. They'd get out of their squad cars, go out there and play football with you. They never
Mm.
said shit to you.
Or, and much to my chagrin, they would pull you over if you were drunk. They just
Mm.
follow you home.
Yep.
Yeah.
And tell your parents.
Yeah. Well, I didn't live with my parents anymore. They just
Mm.
follow you home, be like, okay, don't do this again. You'd be like, "Ugh," which
I got
was
you.
not the best thing to do. I am not condoning that. Please do not think that I am. But that's what they did.
That's what they did back in the 80s.
Mhm.
Mm.
We have a whole show about just reminiscing.
Yes, we could actually. Yes. Mm.
Jasmine says South Florida in the 80s, shit. Party like crazy. Florida was the place to be in the 80s, though.
Oh, it
Now
would have
it's
been.
like, for me, it's like I'm staying far as away as I can from Florida.
Well, Florida is all purple rinse, sort of old people in that down there, isn't
Well,
it?
it's old
Now,
people. It's the hurricanes that I don't want no
Oh,
part
yeah.
of.
uh-huh.
Now it's just about the point now with this global warming and shit and climate change that hurricane season is like 24/7 there in Florida.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
either hurricanes or tropical storms or typhoons. I mean,
You
I think
wonder,
Texas,
but you'd wonder sometimes why people live there. Like, I mean, Tornado Alley. I remember some guy saying, "This is the fourth time I've rebuilt my house." If that were me after the first time, I'd move somewhere else. I
We
mean,
had over 100 tornadoes this last tornado season. Like this year, we had over 100 tornadoes here.
wow. I mean, we never get stuff like that.
have
But
you
we're
ever been?
lucky.
Have you ever been caught in a tornado?
Yes, twice.
Twice,
Two,
me too.
One very, very bad one when I was 5.
Oh, that was exciting stuff.
Do what?
I said that was exciting. Sure.
No, it was absolutely fucking terrifying. It was an F4 and it was absolutely frightening. It gave me PTSD. Like tornadoes absolutely terrify me. And then when I was 17, my parents lived up on a hill, and I watched from my bedroom window the house at the bottom of the hill just be completely destroyed by a tornado. And then my dad came and grabbed me from my bedroom and ran me down to the cellar.
Yeah, they're quite amazing, the force of them.
It's insane. Like they pick one house, skip a house, get a house, go around. It's nuts. And they terrify me.
Well, I mean, the nature is like that, isn't it? You can't stop nature. I mean, a tsunami, a volcano, Category 5 hurricane, nasty.
See, that's like, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of people. I'm not afraid of anything except weather, like tornadoes, because you can't control any of that.
Well, most other things you can do something about it. But if you're dealing with flood, volcanoes, tornadoes, you just go with the flow. I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, you're just there.
You're there.
It's just going to happen.
I've been in a couple myself too. Once when I was a little, coming home from school, and a tornado landed right on the main street next to my school. And I kind of was almost sucked into that one.
Holy shit.
It took us off the ground as we was running. I remember that one. And then I was coming from Tennessee to Indiana, and I was going down the road, and a tornado touched down and was crossing the highway. So I had to literally like stop, abandon my vehicle, and run under a bridge until the tornado passed through the highway.
Yeah,
Holy
wow.
shit.
That was scary. That was fucking scary.
I finally, and I'm not even kidding about this. Just this year, I watched the movie Twister the whole way through for the first time, because I could never watch it all the way through without freaking out. So I called that therapy.
They got a new one coming out too.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to watch that the whole way through. It'll take a while. But I did, for the first time this year, watched it the whole way through. And I just kept telling myself, it's therapy. It's therapy.
It's therapy. I love thunderstorms. I
do too. I love it.
I love.
I don't mind a storm. Yeah, I don't mind a storm.
I love going out. I love going out there, the lightning and the thunder and all that. I
love the build up to it, the lightning show and hearing the thunder, just the build up, watching the clouds build up.
It's just when they start blowing those fucking sirens is when I'm like, fuck this.
We had one blow here last year. We had one blow. It was like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it goes off. There was a tornado that landed next county over.
I have so many weather apps on my phone that it goes off a million times before the tornado.
I got local map, I got local weather, and I got weather channel, so I got the national weather too.
So they're not going to sneak up on you. You'll be ready for them. Yeah.
No matter what, I can look at the fucking app and I'll go, okay, there's a little bit of rain, but it looks like it's going to miss us. And I'm like, okay, this is good. I'll take the bike out to ride. And I'll get as sure as the world if I go out to a ride, it's pretty decent on the way there. And then on the way back from the ride, all of a sudden we're getting dumped. Me and Scott both was riding together one day, and I thought, we got this. We went to do the haircuts. I said, we got probably a good hour, 2 hours to get back home. As soon as we walked in the damn door, you heard the buzz of the fucking clippers. It starts dumping, and it just ran in the whole fucking time all the way back home.
Lovely.
That's a bummer.
That is a bummer.
Even if you get all the weather apps in the world, it's still off sometimes, and I get caught right in it.
It's like Murphy's Law.
Yes.
I get caught right in it. Every single time. Well, guys, I guess we're going to get out of here. We're going to play you guys out for one last song for the night, and then we'll be back week after next. Once again.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
Let's play one last day. We'll do one last day.
Yeah, why not? If not, why not?
But be sure to check us out this Sunday over at Metal Cross Radio. Me and Jen are doing a show. This show here, but just on the radio. More music, because we can get away with it more on the radio station. Be sure to go check out Denton on his YouTube channel, Denton Tells. Subscribe to his stuff. You just dropped a new one, didn't you? Gay Astronomy?
Gay Astronomy, yes, I did.
And his stories are fantastic. I
Yeah,
I
aren't
love
they?
his
Yes,
channel.
I love them actually. Yes, they're so brilliant.
But be sure to go
shamelessly
subscribe
blown
to Denton's Tales on YouTube and
Mhm.
subscribe to our channel too.
Absolutely,
Yes.
Media.
absolutely.
Outside of that, guys, have a great night, and we'll see you guys on the next show.
Yes,
Or
indeed.
we'll talk to you on Sunday for our 8 o'clock show on Sunday.
Very
You guys
good.
have a great night. We'll catch you guys next time.
Night, everybody.
Like,
Hey, this is Josie Scott, the original OG lead singer of Saliva, and you are watching Inner Demon Media. Release your inner demons. We all have demons. We just don't try to hide them.
Do you know what it's like to be me? Living with nothing, trying to break this industry. Traveling around feels like we're free.